as we bring you Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 and Sacramento Republic FC. Brendan Batchelor alongside Whitecaps defender Canadian international David Edgar will have the call of the match today, and a couple of teams here that are looking to get back in the win column.
Yeah, for sure. Vancouver losing here last week against San Antonio, looking to bounce back with the 3 points, and Sacramento on a 3-game losing streak, looking to bounce back as well.
As we get into the players to watch, and let's start with Sacramento and Sammy Ochoa, who could be dangerous up front.
Yeah, the 30-year-old former Seattle player in the MLS is leading the team with 3 goals and 2 assists. He's a big-body striker, likes to use his body, is quicker than he looks, and he's a very tidy finisher.
A scoring threat for Whitecaps FC2 could be the youngster, 18 years old, Glory Amanda.
Yeah, Glory Amanda from the residency program. Very impressed with him when I saw him make his first start against Seattle. Created a goal that day, and I thought his overall performance was very good.
As they'll have to fight through the weather here at the Point Grey campus of the University of British Columbia. We'll have the opening kickoff when we come back.
Good afternoon and welcome back to UBC's Thunderbird Stadium. And Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 getting set to take on Sacramento Republic FC. Brendan Batchelor alongside David Edgar back with you here as we get set for the opening kickoff. And let's go through the starting 11s for the two clubs, starting with the visitors, Sacramento Republic. 3 changes from the team that lost 2-0 to Portland Timbers last Saturday. They've lost 3 in a row. Into the starting 11, Tyler Blackwood and Agustin Cazares in midfield. Julius James in the back 4 will push Emra Clementa into the right back position. Sammy Ochoa, the lone striker up front, we mentioned him off the top, leads the club with 3 goals on the season. For Vancouver Whitecaps FC2, youthful squad. We talked about Gloria Amanda up front. Andy Toma and Taryn Campbell will assist him in the attacking part of the match. And David, it's going to be interesting here to see what Whitecaps FC2 can do this afternoon, as they also are looking to get back in the win column after a 2-1 loss last week at home.
For sure. Both teams coming off losses. Sacramento, the last 3. Rich Fagan's got a young squad due to injuries here, but it's time for some of the young boys to step up and take their chance.
Could be opportunities to come into the match off the bench for the likes of Nazim Bartman and Patrick Metcalf as well. And as we take a look there, Rich Fagan's side looking for its 3rd win of the season. Whitecaps FC2 with a record of 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw, 7 points from 5 matches. 3 wins, 3 losses, no draws, 9 points from 6 matches for Sacramento Republic FC. Whitecaps FC2 in the home white kits with the white shirts, white shorts, white socks. We're going to be set to attack the goal to our right here in the first half. The visitors from Sacramento in those maroon kits. Entirely shirts, shorts, and socks. They will attack the goal to our broadcast left. Spencer Ritchie starting in goal for Whitecaps FC2. He's got a black strip on, while it's going to be a nice bright blue strip for Evan Newton, the keeper for the visitors from Sacramento.
Yeah, really looking forward to this. Again, Rich Fagan said he's looking for a reaction from last week's performance. Spoke to him and he said he was disappointed with the way the team kept possession of the ball, and he's looking for a reaction.
The referee for this afternoon's match is Yusri Rudolph. The assistant referees Jasmine Parr, Chris Wadham, the 4th official Darnell Smith, as we get things underway from overcast UBC Thunderbird Stadium. Not raining quite as hard as it was earlier on in the afternoon. And Whitecaps FC2 looking for a win, as our Sacramento Republic FC 3 consecutive losses for the California side.
Yeah, it's a little bit different from my first USL game, who actually was against Sacramento. Blazing heat in August time, feet burning, so it's a little bit different.
Whitecaps FC2 won the season series with Sacramento last year. There were a couple of draws and then a victory for Vancouver. That match you're speaking of, in which you played for Whitecaps FC2, late July last year, actually, July 24th. And Thomas Sanders scored his first professional goal in that one. Here's an early chance, though. Top of the box, Ochoa. Forced to run towards the far touchline as he tried to work it there with Wilson Nishaw. And Ochoa all the way across to the corner flag. Outmanned on the ball, but will win a throw-in in the attacking third, and a dangerous start here for Sacramento. Try to work it on that far side. Ochoa in the box, looking for some service potentially. It's played back out to Jeremy Hall, an MLS veteran. Will push it back into his own half for Julius James. Now a long ball out for an early goal kick.
Good pressure there from Gloria Amanda. Getting right up against the center halves, not letting them have a sniff.
Whitecaps FC2 playing a 4-3-3 setup today, so not the 3 at the back that we have seen them do a couple of times this season. Play a more traditional setup. And a 4-4-2 officially on the lineup card, although it may be more of a 4-4-1-1 for Sacramento, with Nishaw playing in behind Ochoa. Long ball into the attacking half for the Whitecaps as they look to answer back, and the break could be on. There's a handball, and Thomas Gardner wanted that call. It's going to be a yellow card shown, in fact, to the center back Julius James. And a free kick here from about 30 yards out, so decent distance here for the Whitecaps to try and create something off the handball.
Yeah, good position to get a good cross in and a chance at goal here, hopefully.
The opportunity for David Norman Jr. to try and create something. Out on that far side. And he'll hit it with his left foot into the box and cleared away by Chris Christian. There to claim it is the keeper, Evan Newton. And a bit of danger there for the Whitecaps, but they couldn't really create anything from it.
Yeah, it's a great left-footed delivery there from David Norman Jr. in swinger. Just needed to get the bodies in the box to get on the end of it.
Long ball towards Nishaw. Headed away nicely by Dominic Zator for Whitecaps FC2. Julius James already in the book for Sacramento. Plays it towards the midway line. Good work in midfield by Thomas Gardner. But Sacramento in possession again. Gardner hustling and bustling, wins the ball back. Here's Campbell on the right side, but a foul called against Whitecaps FC2 and a free kick inside their own half for Sacramento.
Yeah, I don't think Gardner caught him there, but it was just the intent, I think.
Now into the 5th minute of the match. Bit of a tentative start from both sides as you see Gardner sliding in there. Not much in it, but a free kick, as you said. Now Sem DeVitt trying to rise for a header, and that's a throw-in for Sacramento as they look to get forward. Taken by James Kiffey on the near side, 28-year-old California native, product of UC Santa Barbara. Sends it ahead to Nishaw, the Englishman, trying to curl it into the box. That looked like it might have run out of play, but it's going to continue here. And a nice tackle there by David Norman to help Thomas Gardner win the ball back. Campbell up the near touchline. In a tussle there. And crashing down to the floor was Jeremy Hall, an MLS veteran here in the USL now, but a veteran of over 125 matches in Major League Soccer. New York Red Bulls, Portland Timbers, FC Dallas, Toronto FC, and New England Revolution, and he wins the foul there.
Yeah, he does well just to get his body in front there and almost buys the foul.
Free kick right on the halfway line for Kiffey with his left foot. High arcing ball towards the box, headed away by DeVitt, falls to Nishaw. Bit of a roller there that he just sort of snatched at and directed it towards Ritchie, who had a routine stop. Now the Whitecaps looking to counter quickly. Gardner up the left side. Plays it back towards Toma. Whitecaps still in possession. Couldn't get it into the area and threaten too much, though. Sem DeVitt way up the park trying to help out the offense. Gloria Amanda pressuring as Kiffey plays it out into touch on the near side. Be interesting to see where the Whitecaps look to try and open up the back four of Sacramento, as they are definitely an older defensive unit. 32-year-old Julius James, 28 years older James Kiffey and Chris Christian, 26 Emra Clementa. All four of them over the average age of the Whitecaps FC2 squad, only 21.
Yeah, as we said, it's a young squad, but as defenders, it's a very experienced back line there in terms of games played and age.
You may hear some dogs barking in the background here, literally, as it is bark at the bird here at T-Bird Stadium this afternoon. So fans encouraged to bring their furry friends along, and we do have a number of dogs in around us here in the stands as the match carries on down on the pitch. James with a long ball. Falls to Taryn Campbell for Whitecaps FC2. Left-footed clearance towards Gloria Amanda, and the race could be on here. Amanda wide on the right side. Has Gardner in the middle. Christian watching him closely. Amanda still with it on the near touchline. Back to Taryn Campbell. He'll lay it off for Matthew Baldissimo, the right back. Baldissimo forward for Campbell. Infield for Will Seymour. Nice ball ahead. Campbell will run onto it. Curls it in with his right foot, headed away by Christian, but here could be a chance, and a left-footed strike blocked away on that far side. David Norman Jr., I believe it was, looking to get forward and have a go at goal, or rather it was Declan Wynn, the left back, or at least on the lineup card, that's where he's listed, but right in the mix there in the box, and if not for a block away, he might have tested the keeper, Evan Newton.
Yeah, good spell of possession there for the Whitecaps. It's good to see Gloria Amanda running the channels there and not afraid to take on the defenders.
Rain falling here in Vancouver. Although with the temperature, these aren't exactly the worst conditions to play in. Nice and cool here this afternoon as Nisha forces DeVitt to head out for the first corner kick of the match for Sacramento.
DeVitt does well to clear the ball there. I think he needs a little more help from his center back partner, Dominic Zator, in terms of communication and covering there.
It will be Danny Barrera to take the corner kick. Barrera, 27-year-old Colombian, making his 29th straight USL start. And a good ball headed on there by Julius James, but doesn't end up testing Spencer Ritchie. However, it will be another corner kick, this time from the far side, and hustling across to take it again is Barrera.
I think the Whitecaps are really going to rely on Sam DeVitt's leadership role today, especially with such a young squad.
Takes up his spot at the near post there as Barrera curls it in again, punched away by Spencer Ritchie. And Barrera loses a tussle for the ball with Declan Wynn on the far side as the Whitecaps look to get forward. Long ball, I think, intended to maybe curl in and find Gloria Amanda, who'd made a nice run, but instead it goes out of play. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. As Amanda wins the ball in midfield, striding towards the touchline on the far side there. And the ball is played out by Agustin Cazares, and a throw-in for the Whitecaps as they look to get forward into the attacking third and try and get Gloria Amanda involved here up front as their main attacking threat.
Good pressure there from Thomas Gardner in the middle of midfield. I think he started the game brightly here, and a little bit of transition from Gloria Amanda, gets the throw in.
Declan Wynn throws it into Gardner. Tried to play it into the box, instead wins the first corner kick of the match for Whitecaps FC2 in the 11th minute. Goalless here. Should also mention that we need to wish a happy birthday to Andy Toma, playing up front for Whitecaps FC2, 24 years of age today. And here's the ball in from Norman, curling away and headed over the top. Connecting on that for Whitecaps FC2 was Dominic Zator, and had he been able to get over it a little bit more, it might have been in the back of goal.
Excellent outswinging delivery. Dominic Zator got on the end of it, just couldn't quite keep it down there. Good set piece from the Whitecaps there.
And maybe something to build off going forward here in the opening half. You could see on Zator's face there on the replay that as soon as he came down from the header, he was disappointed with his execution there.
Yeah, I knew he probably should have done better.
Sacramento in possession again as the fans here at Thunderbird Stadium try to spur on the home side. Chris Christian with the ball, kept it in play, and after the little bit of interplay there, it will be a throw-in for Sacramento.
Yeah, you can see Sacramento want to play. They want to pop it around. Wingers coming in off the line and getting the ball from the center halves and the full-backs. I think the Whitecaps midfield are doing quite well in pressing.
Now possession conceded in midfield. This could be dangerous. Sent out to Blackwood on the left side, and a great stop by Ritchie. Got a piece of it with his left leg to turn it aside. That was dangerous from the Englishman Tyler Blackwood in the box, and Spencer Ritchie confidently out to make an important stop.
Great save. Spencer made himself massive there. Gets a leg on it. Shouldn't really be giving the ball away. Straight passes in the middle of midfield from the back four. Puts themselves under pressure, and the goalkeeper there to bail him out.
Could be dangerous here, though. Headed away for Campbell, and he'll clear the danger towards Amanda at the halfway line. Back for Taryn Campbell. Couldn't quite dance around the pressure of James Kiffey on the near touchline, and Sacramento maybe sensing a bit of blood in the water, looking to get forward again. Cazares in midfield, plays it across, and then it ends up back at the feet of James. Julius James for Chris Christian. And you can really see how Sacramento like to get the fullbacks forward. Kiffy quite advanced on the near side, same with Clementa on the far touchline.
Yeah, they're happy to deal with that one up front with the two center backs and push their fullbacks on. They want to get it into the big man, use him as the link-up play.
Throw in to be taken by Kiffy. And a little bit of back and forth there with Barrera. Also involved is Nisha, and he'll play it back into midfield, and it ends up with Clementa on the far side. Emra Clementa darting forward. Now it's out wide. This could be an opportunity. Struck with the right foot, and it just skimmed the top of the bar. A good hit on that far side. I think that was Barrera. And Ritchie may have got his fingertips to it. It is indeed going to be a corner kick. And it just skims that over the bar.
Yeah, good touch, safe from Spencer Ritchie there. Ochoa thought he was going to cross it, but he opted to take the shot and get the corner from it.
Barrera to take on the near side. Outswinging ball over the heads of everyone, and a foul against Sacramento in the box will mean a chance for the Whitecaps to regain possession here and maybe settle things down a little bit under the cosh at the moment.
I think so, yeah. The last couple minutes, Sacramento have got the ball better of the possession, and they're moving it. They're moving it from side to side very good.
Campbell rises, but Kiffy won the header, and again, the visitors in possession. Jeremy Hall in midfield, sends it out wide for Clementa. Hall, the 28-year-old, native of Tampa Bay, passes ahead to Tyler Blackwood. Sacramento with the majority of the possession thus far, content to knock it around at the moment and try and pick the Whitecaps defense open here.
Yeah, you can see how the movement is in midfield. Danny Barrera is looking to find pockets anywhere, and they've got Agustin Cazares. Is that how you say it? Sorry.
Cazares, yeah.
Who always seems to be on to get the ball and just keeping it moving.
Ball curled into the box towards Ochoa. Dealt with nicely by Baldissimo. Now a great strike at goal from the top of the box near side by Kiffy on the half volley. And again, Spencer Ritchie earning his keep through the first quarter of an hour or so as he had to make another stop there.
Yeah, Ritchie's had a bit to do in the last couple of minutes here. It was a great save. A fantastic hit there from the left back.
Oh, a chance to get forward again. Santin, and Ritchie out to grab it from the feet of Sammy Ochoa, whose mouth was watering at the potential there. As we have a look again at that great strike by Kiffy, and Ritchie diving to his left to turn it wide of the post. Now the Whitecaps maybe with a chance on the break, but it just rolls past Toma and out of play on the far touchline.
That's unlucky. Good link-up play again from Gloria Amanda, who's showing short and linking his midfielders in. Just a little bit sloppy in the pass out wide.
Barrera. Nice pass infield. Nisha will send it on to the left side for Kiffy. Now it's sent forward. That's Cazares for Nisha in the area, cutting back onto his right foot. Couldn't strike that cleanly, and the Whitecaps again have to deal with an attacking threat from Wilson Nisha, and they clear it away. But he's been quite involved up front there as well, and Ochoa, Nisha, and Barrera have all proved to be dangerous.
That was a great third man run from Nisha. The left wingers picked him out with a good pass. But the back four of the Whitecaps need to make sure the line's correct.
There's another long ball. That's Clementa getting forward up the right side. Hard curling ball in with his right foot that goes out of play, and a goal kick for Whitecaps FC 2. Or is it going to be a corner? Indeed, that is the decision, so it must have been touched out of play as we get a look at that chance for Nishaw again. Not really much in it, as the Whitecaps defenders did a good job of collapsing back around the goal mouth. Right-footed or left-footed ball from Barrera, rather. Rolls through. And that's going to be another corner kick. Sacramento have had quite a number of them now early on, and some defending yet to do here from Whitecaps FC2 as we again see that must have taken a touch off of one of the defenders as it rolled through. Outswinging ball from Barrera. Headed away towards Gloria Amanda, and he's got Gardner striding towards the attacking half as well. Julius James wins a challenge on the near side, though, and Sacramento again in control here. Nice rising header from Baldissimo again, though. Ochoa out wide for Barrera, knocks it forward towards Nishaw, and headed out for a throw-in just barely, right over by the corner flag on the near side.
Sacramento looking really comfortable on the ball here. Little intricate 1-2s in the middle of the park, and then looking for that killer pass.
Throw in to be taken by Kiffey. It is one of those funny things, though, that Sacramento have had all these opportunities, have yet to capitalize, and as they pressure up the park, there could be an opportunity to score on the break as well for Whitecaps FC2.
Especially with the pace of Gloria Amanda up there. Again, a young Whitecaps side need to stay in the game after 20 minutes. Been under the cosh for the last 10. Stay in the game, keep it 0-0, and keep your composure. And young Gloria Amanda's got the pace up there.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Sam DeVitt for Baldissimo towards Campbell. Baldissimo with it again, dances away from pressure, plays back to Seymour, who had Ochoa right on him. Whitecaps do keep the ball. And Zator on the far side. Plays it out wide to Declan Wynn. He'll send it back across for DeVitt. DeVitt, nice ball into the midfield for David Norman. Norman to Campbell, near side, trying to cut infield. Passes back to Seymour again for Campbell. Not heavy enough of a touch there, but was able to recover to get it to Norman. And he'll spray it wide onto the left side for Toma. Overlapping run by Wynn. He'll get the ball. Wynn looking to curl it in, wins the corner kick, and a chance now for the Whitecaps to try and turn the tide a little bit.
Yeah, Coach Rich Fagan will be a bit happier with that. Bit of possession there from the Whitecaps. Good position picking up from David Norman Jr., who checked his shoulders and got in the turn.
And he'll take the corner kick. Norman, the 18-year-old Coquitlam, British Columbia native, making his 4th start of the season. And it was danger from a corner kick from Norman earlier on when Zator headed over the bar. That time, nothing doing, though. Whitecaps do have possession, though. Here's a good run by Seymour, trying to get around Ochoa on the right side. He's done it. Sends it into the box and just rolled past Gardner. Amanda not there to try and get on the end of that one, and now possession conceded, rather, by Baldissimo at the halfway line. Wins it back, but also concedes the throw-in. Good slide in by Baldissimo after he had lost the ball. And it looked like the break could have been on for Sacramento.
Yeah, it does well to win it back there. Unfortunately, concedes a throw-in, but a great run from Will Seymour there in a pullback. It was almost in a chance.
All the way back to the keeper, Evan Newton. Spencer Ritchie, the busier of the two goalkeepers in the match so far. A couple of tremendous saves to this point. 23rd minute. Still 0-0 at Thunderbird Stadium. Tussle for the ball on that far touchline. Whitecaps looking to tidy up. Will Seymour with a nice ball forward. This could be a break for Toma. Down the left side, looking to get around. James sends it in just out of the reach of Amanda, but Campbell could keep the pressure on here. Taron Campbell has a go with his left foot, but well over the target and out for a goal kick. That was dangerous from the Whitecaps, though.
It was, yeah. Andy Toma showed some pace there to get by, pulls it back. Gloria Amanda couldn't quite get on the end of it, but Taron Campbell picks it up, and it's worth a shot from there.
As again, you see Toma darting forward. And James did well to pressure him there. It was just too much for Amanda to try and do something with, and Campbell with maybe a bit of a hopeful effort from that distance. As Seymour wins possession in midfield, and you can feel Vancouver turning the momentum back in their favor here as we creep closer to the half-hour mark.
Yeah, good little spell from the Whitecaps here. Getting their foot on the ball and posing themselves a little bit more.
And could we see a goal from a birthday boy for the second consecutive week? 7 days ago, it was Marco Bustos scoring on his birthday. Andy Toma celebrating his 24th birthday today. And if he can create a few more attacking chances with runs like that, then he could have some success.
Yeah, he showed some great pace down that wing.
David Norman Jr. again. High, outswinging ball. Rising to try and hit it was Zator. Couldn't quite capture it, though, and Tyler Blackwood is away to the races. Blackwood darting towards the far touchline. Back to mop up was Declan Wynn for Whitecaps FC2. Gardner infield to Seymour. Out wide for Wind on the far touchline again. Wynn forward to Norman. Tried to play it on for Toma, but was out of his reach yet again. Amra Clementa, the right back in possession. Montenegrin, 26-year-old. 20 games last season for Sacramento. Injury-shortened season in 2016. Had a season-ending knee injury in early July. Back to work there on the back line as Blackwood gets forward up the left side. Trying to dart around Baldissimo. Campbell back to help out, and the Whitecaps clear, but only as far as Kiffey. Kiffey looking to get forward again, out wide for Blackwood, trying to knock it forward towards Nishaw, but Campbell draped all over him. Prevented him from creating anything down the near touchline, and it's sent back into the center circle for Julius James. He'll roll it back to the keeper, Evan Newton. Sent ahead for Jeremy Hall.
Sacramento being very patient in the build-up. They always seem to have that extra midfielder in the center of the park there to bounce it off and keep the ball moving side to side.
And with a veteran back line, they may be content to do that for large portions of the match here. Seymour winning possession in midfield for Campbell. Now here's Toma. He's going to hit it, and it's blocked nicely by James. Whitecaps still with the pressure on, though. Declan Wynn forward. Back for David Norman. Norman, left-footed ball. Again, it's Toma on the wide side. Watched closely by Clementa, curls it into the box. Campbell trying to dart towards it. Gardner sliding in, couldn't get a touch on it, and it's cleared away again.
That's where I think the Whitecaps can hurt Sacramento here in the transition.
Now here's Baldissimo. Nice ball forward. Amanda onside, has Christian all over him. Has to play it out wide for Campbell. Campbell wins the throw in as he attempted to pass it back to Baldissimo, and it's knocked into touch by Tyler Blackwood. Whitecaps with their tails up a little bit here.
Danny, Dan, keep your balance. Danny.
Baldissimo. Looking for somewhere to play it, and now finds Gardner. Back to Baldissimo. He's going to have a hit, curling it in just out of the reach of Amanda, and dealt with by Clementa. Towards the near corner flag and pounded out for a goal kick by Agustin Cazares.
Yeah, that's a brilliant cross from Baldissimo there. He just needs it. Andy Toma, can he get it in the back post? But fantastic delivery. I'd like to see a bit more of that from the Whitecaps.
We saw Rich Fagan there on the touchline a moment ago. He must be more pleased with what he's seen here. But now here's a long ball forward towards Nishaw. Good rising header from Zator to sniff out the danger there, although it could be oncoming again. Blackwood for Ochoa. Switches the field, spraying it across to that right side. Clementa has to run back to it. Clementa back to Julius James, the 32-year-old from Trinidad and Tobago. For Emra Clementa. And again, as we talked about, Sacramento content to keep possession, knock it around, wait for an opening. And they have found a few of them, although they haven't been able to put the ball in the back of goal.
Yeah, as we said, like to keep it calm and compact and move the ball 5-10 yards, just moving the opposition team. But as they showed there, they're not afraid to get in behind as well if they have to.
Whitecaps win possession. Here's Amanda getting forward, stays on side despite calls from Christian that he may have been off. David Norman in midfield. Sends it out wide. Here's Baldissimo getting forward on the right side. Couldn't quite run onto it. Forced to lay up there and pass back to Seymour for Norman. Nice short pass for Campbell. Gardner on to Amanda. Back for Seymour. Low ball to the edge of the area. Campbell touches it back for Declan Wynn. Wynn with a left-footed ball towards Amanda, trying to head it on, and didn't get all of that, to say the least. Had quite a lot to contend with, and it's back to the keeper, Evan Newton.
Couple 1-2s at the edge of the box from the Whitecaps. Couldn't quite get on the end of it, but good to see.
The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL. Past the half-hour mark this afternoon on a gray and overcast day in Vancouver. Whitecaps FC 2, Sacramento Republic FC, the first of 3 meetings in the regular season this year. And Hall plays it out wide onto the right side for Emra Clementa, who's ruled offside.
Yeah, as you said before, Sacramento happy to push their fullbacks wide. That was their right back offside. They're happy to have their fullbacks high and wide and looking to get it and get in for crosses.
Clementa with a goal already this season. As we mentioned off the top, Sammy Ochoa with 3 leads the team. Thomas Sanner with 2 goals for Whitecaps FC 2. Available on the bench if Rich Fagan needs attacking options in the second half. Other than that, Vancouver goals this year from Ben McKendry, Declan Wynn, Andy Toma, and Marco Bustos, who we mentioned scored last week in the 2-1 loss to San Antonio. And the Whitecaps may be looking to take a bit of a page out of Sacramento's book here and calmly knocking the ball around in their own half. Now it'll be Ritchie delivering it forward. Campbell heads on past Christian and out to claim it. Evan Newton. Newton, a 29-year-old from Virginia, product of Old Dominion University, had a .93 goals against average last season. He was top 10 in USL among keepers with over 1,000 minutes in terms of goals against average. The Whitecaps looking to strike here. Gardner trying to play it through to Campbell, and Christian got a piece of that. That would have been a dagger. As Gardner again has done some good work in midfield and just couldn't link up with Campbell on that opportunity. Sacramento looking to hit on the counter-attack. Blackwood couldn't get around DeVitt.
Again, there's that transition I was talking about from Vancouver Whitecaps. I spoke to Rich Fagan. He actually, it was one of the things he mentioned that he thought that they could do against the Sacramento team. Just a final product near the end there.
Kiffey forward towards Nishaw. called for a foul there as he looked to dart into the box. And really not a lot in this match in the 34th minute now. A couple of good looks at either end. Spencer Ritchie had to make a nice stop on Tyler Blackwood. Dominic Zator headed over the bar off a set piece for Vancouver, but otherwise, not a lot of opportunities either way.
No.
Although you feel like they might be there.
Yeah, for sure. A couple of chances for Sacramento in the first 15 minutes there, but Spencer Ritchie was on his toes. And a couple half chances for the Whitecaps, but not too much in it the last 10, 15 minutes.
Nice ball cut out in midfield there by DeWitt. Otherwise, Blackwood would have been away to the races. Wynn for Gardner, has Toma ahead of him. Instead, leaves for Wynn. Back to Gardner, who can't keep it in play. Now a long ball, Ochoa ruled offside. Last home match for a few weeks for Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. They won't play at home again until May the 14th. This is the first of a 3-game road swing for Sacramento. Second time they've played 3 consecutive away games this year. And in possession again. In midfield is Cazares. Back for Barrera, wide for Clementa, the right back getting forward again. Tried to play it infield, dealt with by Will Seymour. Back for Declan Wynn and sent away. Amanda playing back towards Toma, collides with Clementa. Good tussle there for the ball. Clementa called for a foul on the Whitecaps with a free kick yet again.
I think both back fours have to really stay switched on here. Sacramento are happy to go 2v1 against Glory Amanda, but he does have that pace to get in behind. And the Whitecaps are up against willing runners and second and third man runners with Ochoa staying up in the middle and happy to be a link-up man. So they have to stay switched on.
As I said, it does feel like this match could break wide open at any moment with the way both teams are playing. Under 10 minutes now until the halftime whistle. Declan Wynn as Wilson Nishaw all over him, but sent it ahead. Gardner unable to win the ball from Julius James. Barrera, middle of the park. As Amanda all over him, causing some problems there and forcing Sacramento back deeper into their own half. Clementa and James content to play pass on the far side. As Sacramento look to work it up the park. Back with Julius James again. Now a ball over the top, looking to connect with the runner Blackwood, but Zator, the 22-year-old Calgary native, making his second start of the season in this match, back to deal with that, and the Whitecaps win a throw-in.
Yeah, good shape from the Whitecaps there. They're forcing Sacramento to play these short passes and then forcing them to go long, which is what, as a defender, you're happy with. You don't want those runs in behind just to clear up.
Wynn plays that out. As the majority of the play has been in the Whitecaps' half. Sacramento not necessarily threatening continuously, though. Christian for Kiffey. Kiffey wide for Clementa. Errant pass there, and Declan Wynn could start the counter here for the Whitecaps. Win wide to the right side for Baldissimo. He's got Campbell in front of him. Seen good service into the box from Baldissimo earlier on in the match, but he plays it back to DeVitt that time. Zator played it out wide. Sacramento in possession yet again. Julius James. Cazares back to help out. Clemento wide on the right side. Watched by Toma, who wins the ball. And Clemento again concedes possession and takes a foul as a result.
Yeah, it's a tough shift in there for David Norman Jr. and Thomas Gardner. Sometimes you just feel like you're chasing shadows. You need a lot of communication starting from the center backs for the Whitecaps and up into Will Seymour, just telling these young boys where to go and what to do.
Now here's Campbell threatening down the right side. Nice ball over the top. Will win a corner kick as it's knocked out by Kiffey. And David Norman Jr. across to take it, and a goal at this point late in the first half could change the complexion of this game quite a lot. The Whitecaps can snatch and grab something here. Norman curls it in, headed away again. Baldissimo, 19-year-old from Burnaby, who's actually making his first start at right back. He's played right wing back before in a 3-1-4-2 formation, but has acquitted himself well through 40 or so minutes.
Yeah, he's done well. Rich Fagan said he was the shape has changed because he feels the three at the back has played its part in the last couple games, but now they're looking to change and get on the ball more and keep possession a bit better, which I feel they have done in the last 15-20 minutes.
Norman in midfield overran the ball a little bit there. Back to the keeper, Spencer Ritchie. Norman rising to try and win the header there. He does win possession back, but is fouled. Set piece here. Quickly taken. Campbell with the overlapping run from Baldissimo will play it infield instead for Seymour. Back for Taron Campbell. Into his own half for Sem DeVitt. Sacramento in position again. Christian. With a long left-footed ball. DeVitt hustling back to it. Nishaw was right on him, and DeVitt sees it out of play. As we near the end of the first half here. Brendan Batchelor alongside Whitecaps FC and Canadian international defender David Edgar. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. As Tyler Blackwood strides into the Whitecaps area, right-footed ball, and again it's Ritchie there to deal with that calmly and coolly. And he's had his work to do, as we said, here in the first half, but has dealt with pretty well everything that he's seen quite well.
Yeah, he has done. He's been very tidy in what he's done. It's always good as a back four to have that confidence in your goalkeeper behind them, and knowing Spencer and trained with him and played with him, you do have that confidence with him. He's very vocal and a big presence back there.
As we get a look here, Will Seymour fouled in midfield moments ago. Maybe get a look at that in a moment, actually. As the Whitecaps looking to pressure forward. Norman for Declan Wynn. Dominic Zator rolls it to the keeper, Ritchie. Now Norman trying to play it forward out wide. Good pressure there in midfield. Unable to win the ball back. Now here's Declan Wynn. Rolls it through. Gloria Amanda touches it back for Norman. Offside was Amanda on that play. And we talked about the attacking threat for Gloria Amanda in this match, although he hasn't seen a lot of joy up front there to this point. But again, you feel like if they can get some service into him, you know he's going to be able to finish.
Yeah, he hasn't had much to do in terms of chances on goal, but I've been watching him and the work he does in terms of pressing their center backs and the runs in behind, just threatening.
Here's Campbell. Pressured by Hall, cuts infield around Christian. Trying to do it all himself there, maybe a little bit too much. But still a throw in and pressure on for the Whitecaps. Under 90 seconds left in normal time here in the first half. Kept in by Seymour. He tries to run infield. Falls and loses the ball, and now here's Nishaw on the left side. Ochoa ahead of him ran into an offside position. Now Nishaw sends it ahead rather. Ochoa didn't run onto it because he knew the flag would be up if he did, and now he's got the ball again. Ochoa with DeVitt right on it. Darting infield, tried to play it ahead to Barrera, couldn't connect. Whitecaps clear away. You can sense maybe both sides looking to try and snatch something here at the end of the first half as Gardner gets forward on the right side. Christian right with him. Pounds it off him and out for a throw in.
Good link-up play there from Gloria Amanda and Thomas Gardner. Gardner's had bags of energy in this first half. He's really ratting about that midfield, and as I said before, it's a tough shift.
DeVitt plays it out wide. Wynn watched by Barrera. Forward to Toma. Out wide for Wynn, off Clementa, but he keeps it in play and sends Barrera ahead. Long ball. Ochoa looking to run onto it. DeVitt back with a pretty critical play there. Otherwise, the danger man, Sammy Ochoa, might have had a clean look at goal, and no surprise here, not much in the first half, only 1 minute of added time.
I thought that pass was going to be inch perfect in behind Sam DeVitt, but he does excellent to get back in.
And as you mentioned earlier on, DeVitt critical in that back four for Whitecaps FC2, wearing the armband this afternoon, and big play from the captain. And as the Whitecaps look to try and create a last gasp chance of their own here in the first half, headed back towards Seymour in midfield. The ball in the direction of Amanda, but not precise enough for him to be able to control it at all. And we should be done the first half. Indeed we are. 45 minutes in the books at UBC's Thunderbird Stadium. Chances for both sides, but it remains 0-0 at the break. We'll be back with the first half match highlights in just a moment, rather. Again, the score, Whitecaps FC 2-0, Sacramento Republic FC 0 at halftime.
It's not always about wins, losses, draws, added time, missed tackles, clearances, possession, rivalries, goals, and assists. Sometimes it's about the people and the stories that shape them. Introducing the official Whitecaps FC podcast, Sideline Stories. In-depth interviews with your favorite Whitecaps players and personalities, hosted by me, Perry Solkowski. Show your ears some love.
Sign up for our skills camp today.
Learn the Whitecaps way.
Whitecaps FC camps are the only soccer camps that you can train with our coaching staff. Get kitted up.
And take your shot at getting scouted. Come on out to our next camp.
Meet a player.
Hope to see you there.
Greetings, Whitecaps fans. It's your resident video game expert, Chew Boy. I play FIFA for a living, so I'm going to be taking over the Whitecaps Snapchat and Instagram for the day. I think what's going to happen, Montero brace. 2 goals for Montero. All right, time to go.
I need a picture with this guy. I need a picture with this guy. 2-0.
2-0 to Whitecaps. What about you?
I got 2-1 for Whitecaps.
2-1. I'm saying 3-1. Freddie Montero, 2 goals. I'm saying this has got to happen. Oh, and the Caps. Colton, what do you think the score is going to be today? 2-1. That's what I think that might happen. I'm going to go with you. Thanks. Boom. Freddie! Hey, Jordan, what's up, dude? Hey, good seeing you, man. You all right? Yeah. Good luck, dude. Well, not really. Not really. I think that's probably the biggest TIFO we've had. I don't know. I could be wrong. Thanks. Well, I was actually hungry, to be honest. Yeah. Nice kids over there. White!
Freddie Montero with 2 on the night.
What did I say? You guys owe me an apology. 2 goals. I called it. I'm a wizard. It's easy. It's too easy. That's my boy. Hey, that's my boy. Austin, that's my boy. That's him. I love you. Yes, boys. Wow, what a match. Cascadia Derby lives up to the hype. I've almost lost my voice. This is the first step.
You touched it?
Towards Cascadia.
First game?
First game.
First, well.
3 points.
3 points, 2-1.
Titanic, I believe. Yeah. Who doesn't like Leo in a wet shirt on boards in the ocean? Yeah. Batman. That was my hero growing up. Though I'm not good at any of them, probably singing. I can do that in my car on the way to work, but yeah, I don't own rhythm, so definitely not dancing. Drake?
Yeah. Do you know who they are?
I have no idea. I know who Drake is, but who's The Weeknd?
He sings that like I can't feel about this. You know that song?
Oh, none of it. Mumford & Sons.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records. With elite players, and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
On April 12th, the USL set the soccer world on fire as Phoenix Rising FC announced the signing of Didier Drogba, adding to the growing lineup of world-class players and young rising talent in the league, including England internationals Sean Wright-Phillips and Joe Cole, former Mexican international Omar Bravo, and German international Marcel Schaefer. The announcement set off a whirlwind of activity for the former Ivory Coast international, known simply as the King. First, hundreds of Phoenix Rising FC faithful packed the Phoenix airport in hopes of catching a glimpse of the global star, giving their newest addition a world-class welcome. And he did not disappoint. Didier posed with the Rising FC scarf and took time to shake hands and snap selfies with his newest supporters. The drums were out in full force, filling the airport with chants and songs of La Furia Roja 1881 and Bandidos, the club's recognized supporter groups. Then, late Sunday night, Didier was formally introduced to a packed house during halftime of the Phoenix Rising FC and Swope Park Rangers match. Joined at midfield by dozens of local youth soccer players, all clamoring for his photo and shaking his hand, Didier was introduced by Club Governor Burke Bakay and presented with his new number 11 Phoenix Rising jersey. Never short for words, the King grabbed a mic and addressed the crowd. After his comments, he embraced his youth players on the field, shook hands with fans in the stands, and even kissed a few babies. All in a week's work for one of the world's top soccer talents and personalities, and the newest member of Phoenix Rising FC and the USL. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit usld3.com.
Back at UBC's Thunderbird Stadium, halftime and no goals as of yet. Between Whitecaps FC2 and Sacramento Republic FC, it is bark at the bird this afternoon as we see an extra spectator watching on here. And the fans do have their dogs here, but they have not seen a goal as of yet as we get into the first half highlights for the two clubs playing through the rain here on a gray afternoon. Rich Fagan's side looking to get the 3 points again for Vancouver Whitecaps FC2, and chances in both directions as we got the match underway just under an hour ago. And there was an early yellow card to the center back for Sacramento, Julius James. That's the only booking of the match thus far. Both sides had chances. This might have been the best for Vancouver. Dominic Zator heading over the bar from a set-piece delivery there by David Norman Jr. Spencer Ritchie was put to work at the other end of the park. A nice stop there on Barrera, just tipping that over the bar. Also had to make a diving save to his left off the left back, James Kiffey. And then the Whitecaps again. Toma getting forward, and Campbell. Bit of a hopeful try, as I said at the time, for the edge of the area with his left foot over the bar. And that's about as close as we've come to a goal here thus far through 45 minutes. Still 0-0 at this point. There was another good chance for Blackwood, cutting back onto his right foot, but pounding it right into the keeper, Spencer Ritchie. Shots 5-4 in favor of Sacramento. All 5 of theirs have been on target, though, so they have forced Ritchie to make some stops. Possession, as you see there, in Sacramento's favor. Just the one booking to this point. Corners just about even as well. We'll come back with the second half next from UBC. 0-0 between Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 and Sacramento Republic FC.
Sign up for our skills camp today.
Learn the Whitecaps way.
Whitecaps FC camps are the only soccer camps that you can train with our coaching staff. Get kitted up.
And take your shot at getting scouted. Come on out to our next camp.
Meet a player.
Hope to see you there.
It's not always about wins, losses, draws, added time, missed tackles, clearances, possession, rivalries, goals, and assists. Sometimes it's about the people and the stories that shape them. Introducing the official Whitecaps FC podcast, Sideline Stories. In-depth interviews with your favorite Whitecaps players and personalities, hosted by me, Perry Solkowski. Show your ears some love.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Brendan Batchelor and David Edgar back with you here from the campus of the University of British Columbia, Thunderbird Stadium, David Sidhu Field, as we get set to get underway here, the second half of USL action between Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 and Sacramento Republic FC. No goals through the first half, as we showed you just a couple of moments ago on the highlights. Looks like no changes for either side here to begin the second half at least, but as time ticks on, David, we could see changes in both directions and maybe more of the teams opening up in search of the game's first goal.
Yeah, I know it was 0-0 in the first half, but I really enjoyed the football from both teams. It was exciting. A lot of possession in the middle third of the field. Can we be more attacking both teams? But I'd like to see Vancouver Whitecaps in transition and get in behind a little bit more, and maybe see Sacramento really threaten in that final third.
The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com. Follow them on Twitter at USL as well. And a long ball forward immediately off the opening kick here in the second half as Sacramento looking to start aggressively and break the deadlock. Clementa on the near touchline looking to play it to Barrera, knocked out by Andy Toma.
Yeah, that kickoff looked like it was straight off the training ground there. Well worked and almost got him behind.
One of those things you try once though, and as soon as it's on tape, teams will be ready for it.
Yeah.
Chris Christian out wide for James Kiffey. Long ball towards Tyler Blackwood. He'll curl that into the area. Zator can't head away. Instead, it's David Norman, and then Zator with his left foot will clear it into the attacking half. Amanda looking to cause problems there, getting forward for Vancouver. 18-year-old Edmonton native. Pressuring Julius James. James on a yellow card. He came back in the opening minutes of the match. Hasn't been too physical otherwise, though.
Yeah, the two experienced center backs from Sacramento are not easily, but dealing with Gloria Menda's pace. But they have to stay switched on and be wary, because that one ball in behind could change everything.
And you maybe wonder if Thomas Sanner draws into the match at some point so that they have a couple of attacking threats to deal with there at the back, not just Amanda.
Yeah, see if Rich Fagan decides to change the shape and go with two up front. Thomas's physique and how good he is in the air can flick things on.
We did mention Sanner's first professional goal came against Sacramento last season as well, so he will be confident playing against them.
Yeah, I was a very relieved man that day, actually, because I was getting fit and I didn't have the best of games, but Sanner pulled us out of it.
The late match winner, if I'm not mistaken.
It was.
It was a much nicer day, as you were saying, just over or just under a year ago here at UBC. And it is always interesting to see how the conditions can impact the match. I don't think we've seen them be a factor as of yet, but if the rain continues to fall, that likelihood increases every moment.
Yeah, I think as a player you prefer to have this bit of slickness, bit of wetness on the field, because the ball goes a bit better. When it is sunny, it is hot, it gets a bit sticky and bouncy.
Here's Ochoa wide on the right side. And Zator knocks it out, but this will be a corner kick for Sacramento, their sixth of the match. Barrera will take it again, and Spencer Ritchie will bark at his troops there in the box as they get set up here. And Barrera curls it into the back post, but Ritchie rises and snags that and sends the Whitecaps on the counterattack, or he was about to, but away from the play. One of the Sacramento players is down on the floor, and they're going to call for treatment to come out and attend to Tyler Blackwood. Down in a heap there off that set piece. Didn't see exactly what happened, but maybe we can have another look at it on the replay here.
Maybe a clash of heads.
Not exactly sure. Collision of some sort.
He seems to get involved with his own player there. I thought the Whitecaps were away on a transition there, but referee, I suppose if it's a head injury, has to stop.
And of course, with the advances in medical technology and the information we know about concussions now, they've got to be extra careful about that. As Blackwood is in fact being, it appears, checked out for exactly that by the trainers. And he's going to have to go off. Appears to be all right, though, rubbing his noggin a little bit, but none the worse for wear.
Bright start here from Sacramento, getting a bit of pressure on. And that comes from the kickoff, getting the ball in behind straight away and getting the pressure put on the Whitecaps back four.
As Ritchie get the ball, and the Whitecaps will look to get forward quickly as they were about to prior to that stoppage. Taryn Campbell cutting in field, nice ball forward towards David Norman. Send it out wide, it's curled in. Here's Campbell running onto it. Couldn't get the last touch on it, though, to strike it towards goal, but does win the corner kick as the Whitecaps look to respond from the early pressure for Sacramento.
Yeah, great little ball there. I think it was from Thomas Gardner. Just couldn't quite get a shot off Taryn Campbell, but a great run and great pass.
First touch maybe let him down a little, but here's David Norman sending it in, headed away. Will Seymour takes that down, but can't control it. And darting back to keep the Whitecaps in possession was Thomas Gardner, who has been a bright spot for Vancouver in midfield, as mentioned. He and David Norman Jr. putting in quite a shift in the midfield.
Yeah, and you can also see why the Whitecaps and Rich Fagan have got David Norman Jr. on all the set pieces. He's got a lovely left foot, lovely delivery. It goes in at pace and whipped in, and really hard to defend against.
DeVitt back for Ritchie. Declan Wynn. Left-footed ball towards Amanda. Toma getting forward there too. Clementa. And James doing some good work there, but Wynn wins a header in midfield, loses the ball though, and here again is Tyler Blackwood down the right side looking to turn the corner on Zator, cuts back and lays off for Barrera. Barrera, edge of the area, closed down nicely, plays it back into midfield for Jeremy Hall. Ball forward, shouts for a handball there as it came off Baldissimo. Going down in the box for Sacramento was Wilson Nishaw. It is a goal kick for the Whitecaps though, and they take it quickly.
Whitecaps
get another look at the challenge there, and not much in it, I don't think. DeVitt might have caught him a little bit, but not enough for a penalty, according to our match referee.
Yeah, I think the Whitecaps just got a bit flat at the back there, and Blackwood was a great running behind. He's got loads of pace, and he's a tricky character and causing them a bit of problems of getting in behind. But I think both teams can do that more. I'd like to see both teams sort of stretch him and get in behind a little bit, because there's some good football being played. But can we stretch it and get in behind?
Toma. A good tussle for the ball with Clementa. He keeps possession. Forward to Ochoa. Nice ball over the top for Hall. Clementa, the right back, looking to get forward. Win with him stride for stride, and the Whitecaps concede the corner kick here in the 54th minute.
Take your time, Danny.
Another third man run from Sacramento. They seem to like that one where it goes in, back, and through for the third man coming through, and they got a corner from it.
Again, Barrera will be the man to take it. And the Whitecaps have done a good job dealing with all of Sacramento's set pieces to this point. That one was headed down nicely by Christian, blocked away by the Whitecaps though. And Amanda looking to run onto that was beaten to the ball by James Kiffey. Quickly taken throw in by Campbell.
Yeah, the Whitecaps have done well defending those set pieces. Barrera puts in a good left-footed cross, but notice Rich Fagan he seems to leave his two center backs on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Now here's Campbell into the area, taken down. Referee will wave play on. Fans not in favor of that decision, as that'll go out. Campbell isn't either. As we'll get another look at it here. Tough one.
Yeah, I think sometimes referees go off players' reactions, and the fact that Taron Campbell got straight back up and looked to put a cross in maybe made the referee's mind up there.
And it could end up being a play like that, or a foul or a penalty decision that ends up making the difference in this match in the end.
Yeah, you think the way the first half went, especially in the first 10 minutes of the second half, it could be a set piece that changes the game.
Sacramento looking to get forward. Nishaw on that left side. Ushered towards the touchline by Baldissimo and DeVitt. Whitecaps concede possession though. And darting back into the area is the left back Kiffey. Lost the ball, and DeVitt sends it ahead for Thomas Gardner. Gardner for Gloria Amanda. Passes back to David Norman Jr. Whitecaps with men forward. Looking for a breakthrough. Declan Wynn. Striding down the left side, played it into the box, no one there, dealt with by James. Who rolls it up the park, and now turning is Ochoa. Passes up the right side for Blackwood, and sliding in with a big challenge yet again is Sam DeVitt.
Ochoa does well. Dominic Zader gets turned on the halfway line there, but Sam DeVitt's there to clear it through.
DeVitt, 22-year-old, native of the Netherlands. 5th start of the season for him. 3rd in the back line. He's played in the holding midfield spot twice this year. 2016 Whitecaps FC2 Player of the Year.
Yeah, you know what you're getting with Sam. I think he's very solid in whatever position he plays. I had a chat with him this week, and I definitely think he can do a job in that midfield role, but he is a very commanding center back and good in the air and good on the ball, and he's definitely a leader in this team.
On top of that, has shown an ability to get forward and be a danger in the attacking part of the game as well. David Norman running into a bit of trouble there in midfield. Lost the ball. Here's Barrera getting forward towards Ochoa into the area, and he sends it just wide of the post. Richie came out confidently, couldn't get to it. Ochoa can't believe that as he rolled it just wide of the woodwork.
David Norman Jr. just getting caught in the ball in midfield. Good transition there. Ochoa does well, but I think Richie does fantastic there to clear the line. To cut off the goal.
Declan Wynn with some good back pressure as well. And that's probably about as close as Sacramento have come to scoring. It's Clemente. He's pressured by Norman, but got the ball ahead anyways. Ochoa, the danger man for Barrera. Sliding in is Norman. That'll be a foul, but I don't think it'll be a booking. As our match referee just trying to settle things down here a little bit. Just prior to the hour mark. And soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Barrera played it back into midfield. An errant pass, though, and having to hustle over and grab it is Kiffy. For Cazares, a long, hopeful strike, to say the least, well wide of the target.
Yeah, that's very ambitious. I mean, 9 times out of 10, that goes over the bar. 10 times out of 10 for me.
Whitecaps looking to get forward down that far touchline. They lose possession again, though. Christian rolls it into midfield. Barrera lays off, then gets the ball back. Kiffy forward for Nishaw. Now back to Julius James. Emra Clemente. Clemente with a long ball. Taken down by Blackwood, edge of the area. Plays it back towards Ochoa. Instead it rolls through the Hall. Wide to the left side for Nishaw. Wide of the target. Goal kick for Vancouver, but Sacramento pushing forward, starting to look more and more confident with every kick of the ball.
Yeah, Sacramento knows the space is out wide and get the shot off there. But as I said, Sacramento knows the space is out wide, and again, their fullbacks are pushing high and wide, and they're switching it side to side very good here.
Which, of course, could leave them vulnerable if the Whitecaps can break through the center-back tandem of Christian and James, who have played well this afternoon. Here's Sacramento getting forward again, though. Ball curled in. And Sem DeVitt got a piece of that to block it away. I don't know if Richie helped him out there as well. Another dangerous opportunity for Sacramento.
Yeah, I love that from Sem DeVitt. The ball's in behind him, and it's tough. Those could easily be an own goal, but he does excellent just to get a little touch on and put the striker off.
And we could see a change here for Whitecaps FC2. I believe that is big Thomas Sanner warming up for Vancouver. And in fact, a number of the substitutes are going to make their way down to our broadcast right to get up and warm. And a few Sacramento players doing the same at the other end down to our left.
Yeah, I think if Rich Fagan was to go with 2 up top, Gloria Amanda will be really happy with that, because he has been exposed at times and not really had the support he needed, because the 2 wingers are having to do a job on the 2 fullbacks for Sacramento.
Now here's David Norman striding up the left side of the park. Curls it into the area towards Amanda, and a great save. Diving to his left was Newton. by far the best opportunity of the match. Amanda can't believe it. What a ball from David Norman Jr. And an even better save from Evan Newton. Wow.
What a ball. Just guided it behind the two center backs, and a great run from Gloria Amanda. He does everything right, and it is a good save. But what a cross from David Norman Jr.
The 18-year-old looked well beyond his years there as we get a look at it again. Wow. And Julius James was calling for offside there. Wasn't given, and Amanda denied by Evan Newton.
I think Gloria Amanda probably thought in the back of his head he was offside there and he had more time, but kind of hits down on the ball and might have done better, but it's a fantastic cross.
Bit of a delay here, not exactly sure why, as Barrera comes across to get a bit of a drink. Clementa towards Ochoa. Fouls Seymour. Ochoa kicking the ball away. We'll have a talking to from our match referee, who maybe was thinking about pulling a card out, but
yeah, I think he was thinking about it there. Don't know what was said, but we've all been there on the field.
Norman with a long ball. Kiffey for James, and back out to Kiffey on that left side. Dances away from Taryn Campbell. Into midfield for Ochoa. Now it's sent wide for Clementa, getting forward on from the right back position rather. Barrera back towards James. Amanda draped all over him. James trying to pound it out, but instead it's Toma that keeps it in play, and here's the break for the Whitecaps. Toma darting forward, has Campbell to his right, who's going to run it into the area himself. Tried to curl it in, ball stays in play, he'll send it into the middle. Here's Will Seymour towards Amanda. Booted high in the air by James out to the near side, and Barrera will try to deal with that, and does so. And just the lack of execution there, letting Whitecaps FC2 down right at a big moment, with an opportunity to open the scoring.
Yeah, great run for Toma. It just seemed to keep opening up for him. He took the space and couldn't quite get the ball, just wouldn't draw for Gloria Amanda and Will Seymour at the edge of the box, but it's looking better for the young Whitecaps team here.
Ochoa back for Hall. Ball forward, out of the reach of Blackwood. Would have been offside anyway. The Whitecaps will carry forward. 65th minute at UBC's Thunderbird Stadium. Brendan Batchelor and David Edgar with you. And Sam DeVitt wins possession in midfield, draws the foul from Barrera as well.
Yeah, the Whitecaps seem to have their tails up a little bit, got a bit better at the possession here, and a few chances going their way, and it's good to see. Good start now.
And the first substitution of the match will be Ochoa, leaving in favor of Harry Williams, the 21-year-old striker, Englishman. And the danger man, we had him as our player to watch. Ochoa for Sacramento will leave the match without a goal. But in is Harry Williams to try and spur on the visitors. And a throw in the attacking third here for Whitecaps FC2. Williams played in 30 matches for Republic FC in 2016, 5 goals in all competitions. And he'll play up front there. Blackwood in an advanced position too as the Whitecaps look to counter. Gloria Amanda felt he was pushed there by Christian as the ball rolls through to Evan Newton.
This is round about the time when, at any level, when the game starts to get a bit stretched, and I feel this young Whitecaps team might just seem to get more energy. They look like they have a bit more energy than Sacramento at the minute. A bit tidier on the ball.
Looks like Thomas Sanner's about to come in for Vancouver too, so another attacking option for Whitecaps FC2 as you see Sanner there getting set to come on. The question will be, does Gloria Amanda stay on for a little bit of a shift in philosophy with a couple of strikers, or does Amanda make way for the larger Thomas Sanner?
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Traditional 4-4-2, go for it. You're at home. Go for the win here. Your tails are up and just get after it.
Sacramento knocking the ball around. Sent forward towards Tyler Blackwood on the left side. Sam DeVitt knocks it out of play. And we are going to have the substitution now for Vancouver. Sanner will come on. And out is Thomas Gardner. So what we talked about, you have to imagine this means that Amanda and Sanner work up front as an attacking tandem. Although Amanda could drop back into midfield if they want to keep their shape as well. Yeah,
I just saw Rich Fagan there just telling Gloria Amanda as a 10, go as the number 10, almost in behind Thomas Sanner, but you like to see him get forward. Just thought Thomas Gardner was fantastic today. He really put a shift in midfield, and it's not easy in there, but I thought he was fantastic.
Sanner, the leading goal scorer for Whitecaps FC2, with 2 goals on the season. The big man up front.
Yeah, first goal kick here, get it up there, get Sanner involved. And
there he is, chesting the ball down. But lost possession to Kiffey, who tries to break back. Runs into a wall of white shirts, but does well to keep possession for Sacramento. Now Clementa on the right side, Toma across to try and close him down. Now Amanda wins the ball in midfield, but will roll it out for a Sacramento throw-in. Stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league by tuning into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific on SiriusXM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Into the 70th minute now. Nil-nil it remains. Thomas Sanner hoping to change that for Whitecaps FC2. Same can be said for Harry Williams of Sacramento, the 2 substitutes here in the second half. Julius James plays it out of the reach of Clementa. Declan Wynn back for it, into midfield for Will Seymour. Seymour back for Dominic Zator. And through to the keeper, Spencer Ritchie. Ritchie's goal kick, or long delivery rather, headed on by Toma, but out into touch. Now Clementa threw it back in, possession conceded. Here's Norman getting it forward to Sanner. Out wide for Taron Campbell. He'll drop off to Gloria Amanda, who has a go with his right foot, rolling it towards Sanner, sneaking into the back post. Couldn't get a touch, and it just went wide. Lovely ball from Gloria Amanda, and all Sanner needed was to get a toenail on that one to knock it home.
Yeah, it was close. I think it was onside as well. David Norman Jr. doing well to nick it in midfield. Gloria Amanda taking the shot on why not, and Thomas Sanner almost got a touch on it.
It's funny, it is a 0-0 draw. Could very well be 3-2 with the chances that both of these teams have had at either end of the park.
Yeah, as I said, it's very exciting football. Both teams playing nice football, attacking football, but it just doesn't feel like a 0-0, and I feel there is going to be goals in this.
Only about 19 minutes left to find them. As it is Tyler Blackwood getting forward on the left side. Ball sent forward into the area, but rolls through to Ritchie again. As we've talked about before, Richie has had MLS action, played against Toronto FC back on March 18th. And one MLS save of the week, too. Here's Toma rolling it through. Sander is denied by Newton. Oh, my word. How many chances can the Whitecaps generate? Thomas Sander in clean. Evan Newton out. And a great ball in by Toma, but Newton comes up huge again for Sacramento.
Massive save, almost identical as the Gloria Amanda chance. Lovely ball from Toma. Sander on the end of it, just a great save. Told you there's going to be goals.
You have to believe it after the couple of chances that we've seen over the last couple of minutes, although both keepers have been equal to the task thus far. Will be a corner kick here there for Sacramento, though. And a chance to try and create something.
That's exciting stuff now, both ends.
As we have a look again at the ball in by Toma. As you said, it was almost identical to the Amanda chance. And could that be the formula that the Whitecaps draw up to try and find a match winner?
I've definitely seen more crosses from the Whitecaps, especially down this left-hand side in the second half than we did in the first half.
Barrera again from the left corner flag. Out swinging ball. Headed away by Zator. And cleared up the park for Gloria Amanda. Amanda passes back for Zator, edge of his own area. Rolls it through into midfield. David Norman Jr. running onto that. Here's Norman getting forward to the feet of Thomas Sander. Holding onto it, in for Amanda. Can he have a hit? Scuffed that. Couldn't quite get it on goal, and again, Evan Newton with it will send it quickly up the park. The chances have been there.
They have been, yeah. Powerful run through from David Norman Jr. Great run from Thomas Sander, and he does well to lay it off to Gloria Amanda, who just sort of scuffs his shot in the end, but positive stuff here.
You have to think, with the chances they've generated over the last 10 minutes or so, that Whitecaps FC2 will feel hard done by if they don't find a goal.
Yeah, as I said, they seem to have that little bit more energy than Sacramento at the minute.
Campbell. As it's played back to DeVitt, and that could be the young legs coming into play here late on. Maybe more substitutions to come as well. As Will Seymour trying to dart away from Hall in midfield, lost the ball. Here's Jeremy Hall on the counter. Plays it out wide for Williams. Curls it in, but no one there. Zator calmly and coolly intercepts and clears towards the halfway line for Sander. Bit of a heavy first touch, lost the ball. Barrera with it again. Into midfield for Cazares. Now it's Nishaw. Again, Cazares. For Kiffey, the left back. Closed down by Campbell. Kiffey darting to the corner flag. But that's going to be a goal kick for Whitecaps FC2 with just about a quarter of an hour left to go.
Good defending there from Terran Campbell, staying with his winger. Also, again, good defending from Dominic Zator. I've been really impressed with him today. And he's in the right positions in the box, and he's headed everything away from corners. So I believe it's his second start. He's done very well.
It is indeed. He made his professional debut in the win over Seattle a few weeks ago at McLeod Athletic Park in Langley. Product of the University of Calgary and Calgary Foothills FC.
Good Canadian boy. That's another thing. 6 Canadian starters out there today, which is nice to see.
And of course, we always have a residency flavor in the Whitecaps FC2 team as well, which is so important. Homegrown talent, both whether it be across the country or in the Whitecaps residency programs. And a chance to get forward here. Declan Wynn has Amanda ahead of it. Sander as well. Wynn will still run with it. Now for Amanda. Plays it back to Seymour. Can the Whitecaps create something here? Seymour for Baldissimo. Again for Seymour. Wynn touches it back to David Norman Jr. Andy Toma, the birthday boy, Cutting down the left side, curls it in. Cleared away by Julius James. Now Zator keeps it in the attacking half of the Whitecaps. Darting forward. Can't win the header, concedes possession. Barrera can't get away with it. Wynn knocks it down. Barrera gets it back, though, and Sacramento looking to get forward. Kiffey darting up the left side. Campbell tracking back to close him down. Kiffey will send it, and that was dangerous. Tipped over the bar by Ritchie. As Kiffey had to go from a ways out. That'll be a corner kick, and Ritchie had to be lively to make that stop.
Yeah, don't think he was shooting there. I believe it was one of those half crosses, half shots, and Spencer Ritchie did the right thing. If he wasn't able to catch it, just pop it over for a corner there, but no real danger.
As we are going to see a substitution here in just a moment for Sacramento. They'll take the set piece first here. It looks like it is going to be Lamin Suma coming in, we expect. As the Whitecaps deal with that, Gloria Amanda can't win possession from Jeremy Hall. And it looks like Tyler Blackwood is going to be leaving the match for the visitors. Barrera rolls it infield. Gets it back on the near touchline. Jeremy Hall with it across to Chris Christian. For Kiffey, the left back. Hall. For Clemento. Ball forward, dealt with by David Norman, for ahead to Sanner rather. He'll roll it to Taron Campbell on the run down that right side. Campbell getting forward, knee shot tracking back, Campbell sending that through the goal mouth area. Toma couldn't get onto it. That'll be a goal kick, and we will see the substitution now. Out is Tyler Blackwood. In is Lamin Suma, the 25-year-old native of Sierra Leone. And Blackwood has been a part of the offense for Sacramento this afternoon.
Yeah, he was very sharp, especially he had a chance in the first half, cutting back on his right foot, but ran all day and ran in behind, Willing running in behind, and he was good on the ball.
And we'll see whether Sacramento changes their shape at all with Suma coming in. As Toma goes clattering to the ground after colliding with Harry Williams.
You wonder if Sacramento are happy with the point here. I mean, they're starting a 3-game road trip, and a point is a good result here, I guess. Or are they going to go for it?
The pressure is definitely more on Vancouver to try and find a match winner. Being the home side, of course. And another substitution yet to come, and I think it's going to be Chris Serban coming in. Indeed, he is set to come into the match for Whitecaps FC2. Now into the 81st minute.
It's about staying switched on now, especially both back fours, as I said in the first half, but getting down the last 10 minutes.
As Amanda gets it forward on the left side. Watched by Hall. He'll send it out wide. Nice ball to Baldissimo. Just over his head. Couldn't quite contend with that. And it is going to be the end of the afternoon for the birthday boy, Andy Toma. Chris Serban will come on. And it'll be interesting to see where he slots in here. Serban, Romanian born.
Looks like he's heading over the right, and Taron Campbell's coming the left.
as they'll switch sides. And if I'm not mistaken, this is Chris Serban's first appearance of the season for Whitecaps FC2. His last game was June 25th, 2016 against OKC. As Sacramento threatening here. Ball sent into the area and looking to knock it on was Suma. Unable to do that. And the Whitecaps will look to get forward again. Good run by Campbell. Slowed up by Clementa. And it's fired up the park by Barrera. Harry Williams unable to run onto that, and it goes out for a throw-in. And another substitution coming here for Sacramento. Trevin Cesar coming in. Wilson Nishaw making way.
Another one who I thought looked very sharp up front today. Sacramento's front three.
Cesar from Trinidad and Tobago, 27 years of age. And with the introduction of a forward, it may not be that Sacramento will be content for the single point here. We'll see if they push forward. With Suma and Cesar coming in. As they're called offside on that play. Suma too far forward, I believe. Or was it Cesar? It was indeed. Zator. Watched closely by Williams. We'll get the ball again from Spencer Ritchie. Trying to play it forward. Knocked down, but dealt with by Declan Wynn. Headed on by Sanner. Possession conceded, though. Now a foul in the center circle against Will Seymour. And a free kick upcoming for Sacramento. Seymour and DeVitt both chatting with the match referee as we get another look at that one there. Not much in that, for my money.
No, not much in it. Just a little bit late, I think that's all. Just a little bit of a talking to. But really like to see Vancouver, especially with Thomas Sanner coming on, get the ball wide, keep your width, and put some crosses in this last 5, 6, 7 minutes.
Cazares for Clementa and Barrera. Barrera plays it back to Christian. Christian up for Kiffey, played back to Suma. Cazares. And Jeremy Hall with a long ball. Kiffey takes it down again on the far touchline. Amanda went in late there. Will be called for the foul, and Cazares has yet to regain his feet there.
A little bit sloppy from Gory Amanda there, just leaving a foot in. Yeah, he did. He caught him.
Those hurt on a cold day. And in the 86th minute now, set piece quickly taken. Kiffey's going to curl it in and cleared away by DeVitt. Could have been dangerous there from Sacramento, but 22-year-old center back calmly and coolly played it away.
Sorry, the two center backs for the Whitecaps have defended the box really well in crosses and long balls and covering each other's backs there. I'm really impressed with the two of them.
Here's Amanda trying to get away to the races. Ball forward, intended for Sanner, cleared away by Christian. Back to Seymour in midfield. Seymour loses the ball. Here's Cesar on the counter, looking to break away. And great effort by Seymour to win the ball back there. Nicely done. Sanner, far touchline for Baldissimo. curl it across for Zator. Zator on the left side, Wynn getting forward. Whitecaps with numbers as Wynn looks to curl it in, but it's blocked away out of play. We are going to have another substitution here for Whitecaps FC2. And it is going to be the newcomer, Nazim Bartman, in. Gloria Manda out. Bartman, a 4th-round pick in the MLS Super Draft for Vancouver Whitecaps FC. Product of the University of South Florida. Will make his professional debut.
Yeah, Gloria Manda's come off there. I think he's done well today. Probably wasn't involved in as much as he hoped, but he didn't quite have the support. But only his 2nd start, and he's going to learn the game and get involved a lot more.
Whitecaps looking to get forward. Bartman in midfield. Gets the ball back. Darting forward. Played it to Campbell, tried to give it back to him. They can't quite connect as they would have liked, and now here's Williams. Forward for Sacramento. DeVitt will earn himself a yellow card here for that challenge, as he took down Cesar. And as much as you don't want to get a booking, that might have been a good decision there by DeVitt to take down Cesar before he could be more of a danger.
Yeah, it's what we call a good foul at the back. If he could have been in, it's the right thing to do. You know you're not going to get sent off, and it's late in the game. So take the foul, stop the play.
At least you hope you're not going to be sent off.
Yeah, well,
I guess it depends if the referee decides he would have been clean in on goal. I don't think it was quite there.
Yeah, you got to make that split-second decision. I think he knew he had his right back there behind him and wasn't quite last man.
Yeah, Baldissimo was there to cover. 89th minute. I can't imagine we'll have too much in the way of injury time, as Bartman clears that away and will dart forward to put Cazares under pressure. Evan Newton, who has had quite the afternoon, a couple of key stops for Sacramento to keep it 0-0.
Especially in the second half, 2 point-blank saves, which really kept him in the game, because at that stage of the game, Vancouver was really taking to Sacramento.
Amanda and Sanner both with chances. It could have very well been good goals if not for the play of Newton. Here's another chance for Sanner to get forward, though. Ball was just behind him from David Norman Jr. DeVitt darting forward, taken down himself, and this will be a booking too for Harry Williams. Physical play picking up here in the late going. Tired legs and maybe desperation at not wanting to concede a match winner.
Yeah, well stepped in there from Sam DeVitt, but I think it's the right decision from the referee. I think Harry Williams knows exactly what he's doing and just size them down. Chance here for the Whitecaps to get the ball in the box.
They do have men forward. Norman with his left foot. And not quite through to Thomas Sanner, over his head and out of play.
Again, David Norman Jr.'s delivery has been fantastic all afternoon today.
He's going to have a corner kick here. How much time do we have left? 3 added minutes. Still time as Norman curls it in, trying to dive and head that one for the Whitecaps. Was Sanner, couldn't connect with it. And a throw in for Sacramento here.
I thought Thomas Sanner had a chance of performing his late heroics again against Sacramento Thunderbird.
He may still have an opportunity to do that.
Let's hope so.
Sacramento will try to create some late magic of their own. Instead, they concede a throw into the Whitecaps. Seymour. Forward for Bartman. Ball headed on, but dealt with by Christian. Nice job by DeVitt to win that. And here's Sanner on the run. Heads it down for Campbell, but the flag is up on the far touchline offside against Whitecaps FC 2.
The linesman waiting A little bit late there to give the, I suppose that's the rules now, but it's a tough one to take as a striker and as a defender when you're having to chase back.
As we get a look at it there again. Must have been Sander on the initial ball that was offside. Hard to tell without the perfect angle. Zator and DeVitt heading away. Looked like it might have been a handball there by Barrera, but he'll send it towards the area once again. DeVitt critical there with a well-timed header. Again, it's Sander ruled offside.
You don't want your strikers being lazy there, getting caught offside in transition. Quite frustrating at times, but Sander knows.
Clementa with Campbell right in his kitchen, plays it towards the area. Knocked away by DeVitt. Barrera onto it near side, trying to get around Norman. Declan Wynn in there to clear it and sends it ahead for Sander. This could be something. Sander out for Nazim Bartman on the left side. Drops off for Declan Wynn, curls it into the box! Over the head of Sander and grabbed by Newton. Wouldn't that have been something?
Just quite floated up perfectly for the goalkeeper there, and good build-up play from the Whitecaps, and just couldn't quite get in the end of it, Sander.
Cazares again with the ball. Wide for Kiffey. Final whistle has to be coming at any moment here, with Sacramento in possession. And maybe one last gasp attempt at a match winner. Clementa. Wide on the right side. Pounds it off Campbell and out, and that'll do it. It was an entertaining affair with golden opportunities at both ends of the park for both sides, but it will end 0-0. Whitecaps FC 2 and Sacramento Republic FC. Entertaining match, no goals in it, but it was a fun one to watch here at Thunderbird this afternoon.
Yeah, not very often you get an exciting 0-0, but I was really impressed with both teams and the way they went about their business. Chances in both ends. It was almost a game for the goalkeepers in the end. Some fantastic saves from both keepers and some good defending from both sets of center backs today. Really enjoyed it.
0-0. As we'll be back with the second half highlights in just a moment after the conclusion of this one at Thunderbird Stadium.
For our skills camp today.
Learn the Whitecaps way.
Whitecaps FC camps are the only soccer camps that you can train with our coaching staff. Get kitted up.
And take your shot at getting scouted. Come on out to our next camp.
Meet a player.
Hope to see you there.
It's not always about wins, losses, draws, added time, missed tackles, clearances, possession, rivalries, goals, and assists. Sometimes it's about the people and the stories that shape them. Introducing the official Whitecaps FC podcast, Sideline Stories. In-depth interviews with your favorite Whitecaps players and personalities, hosted by me, Perry Solkowski. Show your ears some love.
Raise the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Stadium 0-0, the final score between Whitecaps FC 2 and Sacramento Republic FC on a rainy afternoon at the Point Grey campus of the University of British Columbia. As we'll get a look now at the full-time stats through 90 minutes of action here, and there were chances for both sides. You see that, lots of shots in it, 2 on target for the Whitecaps, and they were both golden scoring opportunities in the second half. Glory Amanda right on target, stopped away by the keeper Evan Newton, as was Thomas Sanner. Possession in favor of the veteran Sacramento Republic FC. They are unable to score despite holding the edge in the corner kicks as well. 0-0 the final score as we get into our second half highlights from the University of British Columbia. And we'll start back in the first half, actually, with Andy Toma, who had a great chance off a set piece there. Nice delivery by David Norman Jr. Headed over the bar. Sacramento with chances too. Nice stop in tight on Tyler Blackwood from the keeper Spencer Ritchie for Vancouver. Both keepers did good work in this match. As again, Blackwood causing a nuisance down that left side, cutting in. Routine save by Ritchie, who held that well and prevented any spillage. Ochoa had probably the best chance of the entire match getting forward for Sacramento. Just rolled that one wide of the far post with some good back pressure from Declan Wynn to prevent him, and a good challenge coming out confidently from Spencer Ritchie. This was one of the best chances for Vancouver. David Norman Jr. rolls it in. Gloria Amanda from point-blank range, denied by Evan Newton, the 29-year-old keeper, as we see it again. Lovely delivery from Norman. Good job by Amanda to strike it. Even better job by Newton to stop it, who did the same again on that great opportunity by Thomas Sanner. We saw there Toma with the delivery. That time, Spencer Ritchie had to be awake to keep that one out. A long, high arcing ball from James Kiffey, but he tipped it over the bar. And chances for both sides. As we said, it was a 0-0 draw, but there was excitement and opportunity throughout the match for both teams. In the end, it finishes 0-0. That does it for our USL broadcast here this afternoon. For David Edgar, I'm Brendan Batchelor saying thanks for watching Whitecaps FC 2, Sacramento Republic FC. Once again, the final score from UBC's Thunderbird Stadium is 0-0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.